Chaos Legion General Sale has been out for a few days, and there has never been a flood of supply on the market like this. We're seeing cheaper prices than we've seen for a real long time in Splinterlands. So I want to help you today to sort through how to get leveled up decks, what you should be looking for so you don't waste this opportunity. Stay tuned. Hello, Kamusta, hola, bonjour. This is Luke with Luke Plays to Earn, where I help you guys not to be whale food. We keep playing and earn and grind, even as small investors in these games, so that one day maybe we have a name for ourselves in this whale world as well. Now, this video is brought to you guys by Zen Sports. They're an amazing crypto and fiat betting app that's peer-to-peer. And more importantly as well, if you're a Splinterlands player, they are putting on great events, great tournaments, including my Rookie Esports League that we're hosting every single week. You have a chance at a $1,000 prize pool if you participate. They're also trying to grow their Discord, so hang out with me. And if you join the Zen Sports Discord, go to the Splinter chat. Just like as we've done before, you can see here on the screen. If you write yip yip hooray for Zen Sports and leave your in-game name for Splinterlands, I will send you a Gargoyle Lion for free. If you've already used this in one of my other live streams though, I would ask you not to participate again. But if you're new, definitely jump into that chat and I'll send you a free card. So whatever your goals are, whether it's to play in tournaments with Zen Sports and me, or to just continue to play this game and get better in ranked play and get more DEC, airdrops, stuff like that. Today we're going to be talking about my thoughts, my strategy for Chaos Legion. We have seen some incredible prices on monsters. Summoners have never been cheaper since, I don't know, probably before I started this game, 7 or 8 months ago maybe. And so there is a great opportunity for newer players, for players even with smaller funds like you and me, to really sink our teeth into this game and use this opportunity before card prices go back up. Now, of course, no one knows if card prices, when they're going to go back up, or if they continue to go down even a little bit from here. Either way though, I think this is going to be a great opportunity. And right now, even if it goes down a little bit more from here, I think it's definitely worth buying in, and it's better to start buying in a little bit here and there rather than waiting for a month or 2 months and then seeing this opportunity possibly go by if the crypto market keeps going up, or if they sell out of Chaos Legion packs and people just have to go buy individual cards again. That could really pump the prices on a lot of these cards we're seeing at these cheap rates. And remember, I'm here to help out the small investors, the krills of this world that have not that much money. And I made a video a week ago about how to earn free SPS and DEC by blogging on Hive. And so if you're like, man, I want to buy into Chaos Legion, but I literally have no funds, I really think if you watch that video, follow my advice, you could within a month easily make $50 to $100 on Hive blogging if you put the work in, you put the effort, and then you can use that money to buy up more cards in this Chaos Legion sale. So as we walk through how to build a leveled up deck for Chaos Legion and the new modern format coming out in a couple months, I'm going to act like pretty much I'm starting with a new account. I don't have any power. I don't have cards. Maybe I have, $100, $200 or so dollars to work with. What should we do? Well, the first thing you want to do is click on leagues and go to details. And if you didn't know this, you can look through what summoner limits are for each league. So for bronze, you can only use for the new Chaos Legion summoners, rare would be 2, and then quicks is a legendary, would be only a level 1. However, we want to really push past bronze. This is going to be a great opportunity to get into silver 3. Silver 3 is when the DEC rewards start going up a little bit. They're atrocious in bronze. Tell me about it. I know from that, $11 to $1,000 video series that I'm doing, it's rough in bronze. Plus the loot chest drops are, not only do you get less of them for season rewards or daily quests, you also get worse rewards. Instead of getting DEC drops, you get credits. Instead of getting cards, you have a higher chance to get potions. So really, we need to at least at minimum be aiming for silver 3, which means that we can use level 4 rare summoners or legend 2 quicks. If you have a lot of funds, or maybe you already have some cards going for you, then you can talk about pushing to gold, where we could get a level 6 summoner that's going to run a little bit more expensive, and a level 3 quicks also quite a bit more expensive. So if your account is not already in the silver 3 rating, this is what we really need to be aiming for to get to. So we're going to come over here and go to Peak Monsters because they have some great features for buying up cards and summoners that I'm going to show you. A lot of people talk about using Monster Market because you get 5% back, which I honestly haven't used much, but if you're having success with that, great. But I think there's some good features on Peak Monsters that we're going to use today. So the first thing we want to be doing is we need to think about getting into Silver 3. And the first thing to get that is not just having good enough cards to win and get the rating to 1,000. You need at least 15,000 power right now to play in Silver 3. They talk about in the Modern League, once they split into Modern and Wild, that maybe the Modern League has a lesser requirement, but we don't know yet. So at least for now, our assumption is we need 15,000 card power to play in Silver. So for that, we're going to go to Peak Monsters Buy. We're going to hit the compare button, and then what you're going to do is compare by best CP, that's card power to cost ratio. Then you're going to look at this column over here because we're probably going to buy level 1 cards. This column over here calculates it by higher level cards, which sometimes run more expensive. So for us as Krills, we're probably not going to get too many of those for card power. So let's just look at this over here, and you can see $1 here is going for, at the best rate, is going to get you 148 card power. It doesn't mean this card right here has 148 card power. So you can see this Zenith Archer over here. It's only 13 cents and a half, and it's going to give you 20 card power. So that's how you get that number. You divide it by that, and that's what it is. So it's saying that if you had spent $1 on this card and it equaled $1, it would have given you 148 card power. 20 card power for 13 and a half cents right now is a great deal. These are some of the best numbers, again, that we've seen in months. It used to be 1 USD would only get you 50 card power. So what I would be doing is just putting all these cards in my bin as much as I can. Some of them might not be there anymore. We're gonna have to refresh. And then you can either use the credits or DEC that you have in your account. You can also click on Peak Monsters on the gold button to look at gold. Sometimes they won't have as great of deals, but each of these gold cards has more card power in total. So you're gonna build your card power a little bit quicker. So let's just say on average, you keep going through this best card power ratio per cost. Let's say you have 0 card power right now to your name. You need 15,000 to get to Silver 3. Let's say you average $1 equals 125 card power. You might find better deals than that, but even at that rate, you're talking about right now $120 to get enough card power to play Silver 3, which again, might seem like a lot for you guys. I don't know. It would seem like a lot to me if I was just starting out this game. But think about this, that is literally 5 times cheaper than what it was 2 or 3 months ago. So while it might seem crazy to spend $120 just to get the card power, it used to be $600 or $700 to get card power for Silver 3. So again, this is, 70, 80% off from the highs that we saw previously. So if I didn't have 15,000 power, that's what I'd be doing. Just scrolling through, picking up a couple of cards at a time each day, finding some really good deals that I like. And also, as you buy other summoners and monsters that are leveled up for specific cards that you like, that will also add card power to your collection. So you might not need to buy 15,000 worth of cards of just whatever random to get the card power. Maybe you need, you're going to buy 3,000 of summoners and monsters that you really like and that you want to play with. And then you need to get 12,000 power for your card power collection as well. So let's just say card power alone, it's going to cost you somewhere around $100 right now. Then what you're going to do is click on the grid, and then you're going to click on summoners. Really what you want is the Chaos Legion summoners for most of us here. We're going to sort by price ascending so that we can see the cheapest monsters. We don't want any golds. We're just going to buy the regulars. And so right now you can see we have General Sloan sitting at 320. Thaddeus is a little more than that. Obsidian is the highest rare one right now for 418, and Quick's much more expensive as a legendary for about 28 bucks. Now my recommendation as you start, or if you are just trying to build up your first leveled up decks like I am, is to focus on 3 different decks and try to get them to at least a level 2 summoner. 3 is even better. Silver, you're going to be capped at level 4. That's going to run more expensive though. And then of course, if you're shooting for gold, you can get up to level 6 rares. Now you might be thinking, okay, so which ones should I pick? Well, I made an argument to get a level 2 Quicks, but that's going to run more expensive. That could be $75 to $80 because you need 3 of them. The reason why I like Quicks though is because it essentially at level 2 unlocks what a level 4 summoner would be here over with these prices. So even though it's more expensive per card, you only need 3 cards versus 25 cards needed to level up to level 4 for Kelia or any of these other summoners. Plus you can use this dragon with any other deck and unlock leveled up cards for all of your decks essentially. But again, that's a little more expensive, so let's say maybe that's not possible. Why I'm going to recommend 3 decks here at level 2 at least is because I think at these summoner prices that a lot more people are going to be playing leveled up 2 or 3 decks in low silver, even silver 3, because it's more available than maybe 2 months ago, where we saw a lot in silver 3 still using level 1 summoners and level 1 cards, because leveling up to even level 2 with these summoners a couple months ago was somewhere around 50 bucks a pop. Now you're talking about 5 cards to level up any of these summoners to level 2, and you're talking about 5 times, $320, which is roughly, $16 or $17 for a leveled up General Sloan. So if you can't go for quicks, pick 3 out of here. Personally, what I'm going for is Thaddeus, because I think he has some good leveled up cards, especially at low mana battles. I'm going for Kelia because I already have some strong water deck cards that I like, and then I'm going for quicks, as I said earlier. However, General Sloan, Tarsa, and Obsidian are great summoners as well, so play around in the game, feel out what you like, what decks do you go back to the most, what cards do you like the most, and then go from there, pick 3, because what happens is in silver and especially in gold is, if you notice, not only do the rule sets change, but you aren't allowed certain decks per round. So if you have 3, that doesn't guarantee 100% of matches will be, one of your leveled up decks, but probably somewhere between, 85 to 95% of your matches, if you have 3 leveled up decks, you'll at least have the option to choose one of them. Where if you only have 1 or 2, then often it can be even up to 50% or 60% of your matches, that deck won't be usable, and then you're stuck with level 1 cards again. And if you're really hurting for funds, again, I would just recommend go find the cheapest summoners and level it up to 2. Yes, Obsidian is great. There's a lots of magic spam in silver, and a great way to do that is, instead of buying Obsidian for $4.20 a pop, is just to go grab the counter. Get Thaddeus, which is $1 cheaper per card, and he has the -1 magic, which is going to counter a lot of the Obsidian play. And even though General Sloan is the cheapest, and I honestly haven't found as much success with this life deck, I still think General Sloan leveled up, and at high mana battles, I've still found success with him. So it's not like this guy is just total trash. You can use these level up cards and counter what other people are going to play. So the reason why I like using Peak Monsters is you can click on the summoner and you can just buy the cheapest, but rather than doing that and buying right now at $3.24, what you can do is you can look at the bid system here. So using Hive Keychain and allowing Peak Monsters the authority to bid, you can click here and bid on your summoner. You can see what the highest bid was here before. It was $3.12. You can bid just above that and if you want them right away, or you can bid lower than that and wait some time. So I could go $3.13 and I want a 5 Thaddeus for the level 2, or just give me 1 level 2 Thaddeus. If I wanted that, I could confirm, and then anytime a Thaddeus comes into Peak Monsters or gets on the market that is cheaper than $3.13, it's automatically going to give it to me. So that means I could get a Thaddeus at $3.13, but if someone just randomly posted a Thaddeus, not really thinking about it, and they posted it on the market for $1, and I had the highest Peak Monster bid, it's going to find that $1 card, and then all of a sudden I got a Thaddeus for $1. So you can see I've been using this strategy here. When I didn't use the system, I was buying up a Thaddeus just off the market to get to level 3 right away. It cost me $3.63. But when I put a Thaddeus bid the other day, the high bid was $3, and so I put in a bid at $3, and it just continually grabbed me cards that came in at $3 until I got the right amount that I needed. So I got some at $3, some at $2.95, and okay, none others cheaper than $3. However, I did it with a Quicks the Devious, and I put my bid in somewhere around 26 bucks, and it came in at 24 bucks. So again, just saving any money here when you can. You might get lucky and find better deals than even you thought you would. Another way you can do it if you're impatient and you don't want to use the bid system is you can just click on bulk. It will show you what the average price will be if you try to go for a leveled up card. So let's say you wanted a level 2 Thaddeus. Right now, if you get the 5 cheapest cards on the market, Peak Monsters is going to get it to you for $16. Let's say you want a level 14 though, all of a sudden you're talking about $44. A level 4 Thaddeus, that's an $80 card right now to get 25 of them. So you can see that's why I'm recommending level 2 across 3 decks rather than just go for 1 deck and say, spend for a level 4 deck that you can only use 50% of the time. I think it's smarter just to get a couple leveled up level 2 at minimum for 3 different decks, and that's going to be right around $15 to $20 depending on which summoners you choose. So in theory, we could get our card power for $100 right now, 20 for a summoner, 15 for another summoner, and let's say 18 for another summoner. So you'd be spending $153, but let's say you had 200 to spend, then you still have $47 to go get a couple leveled up cheap monsters. So let's talk about buying up those leveled up monsters. So what you're gonna do in Peak Monsters is click on monsters. Then what you wanna do is click on Reward, Untamed, Dice, and Chaos Legion. The reason is because, like, as I said earlier, they're eventually gonna split the ranked play into Wild and Modern. So Wild can use all the cards, including Alpha, Beta, Promo, and then the newer Modern format won't have any of those cards. It'll just be Chaos Legion, Untamed, Dice, and some of the reward cards. So if you're new or you have less funds, I think building for a Modern League deck is going to be more efficient than trying to buy up old Alpha, Beta cards that are going to run you more money. And then you can also use your Chaos Legion deck, the Modern format, in the Wild format if you really wanted to. But I think for most players, just playing in the Modern format is going to be a better situation for you. So then what I would do is I would go down here to my element, pick which one deck that I'm doing. So let's say one of the 3 was that Thaddeus choice. I would pick Death, and then I would pick Neutral because you can also use neutrals in any. And then start with, let's say, commons. Remember, if you even get a level 2 Thaddeus, that's level 3 common monsters, that's level 2 rares, and level 2 epics, only legendary level 1. So start with commons, we can look at level 3, and what we're looking for is breakpoints. What I mean by breakpoints is something that's important enough in a leveled up card to pay the extra money for. So sometimes to me, that's an extra speed because that means it will get to go first or dodge more attacks. Sometimes for me that means an extra attack, going from 1 or 2 attack can be a pretty big deal. Or if somehow it gets an extra ability, which at level 2, most monsters at level 2 or 3 aren't going to get new abilities. That's why if you can get a level 3 or 4 deck, a lot of the commons get new abilities at level 5 or rares level 4, etc. So in theory, you're probably not going to go for breakpoints with new abilities if you just have a level 2. But let's look at a couple cards too. Let's say if you grabbed a level 3 or 4 summoner and you had the funds to do that. You can also just look at the reward cards and think about over time, hey, if I can get enough of these reward cards, I can combine them and I don't even have to go out and buy them. So if you click on Gargoyle Lion, look at level 3, it's going to get an extra attack damage. So I probably wouldn't buy this because you're going to get it in rewards over time anyways, but adding an extra attack damage will help level up this card. If you do play with a level 4 summoner, adding Void to it is even better because then it reduces damage from magic attacks. Chaos Agent is just a great card to put in there to absorb a snipe or sneak attack, and at level 2 it gets dodge, so that means with 2 speed and dodge it potentially has a 25% or 35% chance for the attacker to miss if it has 1 speed. So again, this is a card that I would go click on bulk. For a level 2 Chaos Agent, you're talking about 33 cents to add dodge to that. That's a breakpoint to me that is a huge deal. Now you could go for a level 3 common card, but that's going to cost you 60 more cents, and all you're getting is an extra health, which most of the time, if it's absorbing a sneak or a snipe attack, that's going to be 2 damage anyways. So that's why I think level 2 is good enough for me. Silent Shavaz is another one I talked about in my bronze tips. This was going off in the Zen Sports bronze tournament here, and just getting a level 3 here is adding an extra attack, which is huge. For a sneak attack going from 2 to 3 is a pretty big deal. So again, for 3, level 3 right now is $2.15. If you use the auto bid system, then maybe you can get even cheaper than that. Another thing you want to check on is you want to click on the cards and see, let's use this as an example, the Sandworm. Getting a level 2 or level 3 is kind of nice. I think especially level 2. The Sandworm is super slow, but it's nice in high mana battles. And to add another speed to it means it's going to miss less often. And if they only have a level Sandworm of level 1, then your Sandworm is going to get to go first. So in certain opportunities and certain matches, this extra speed can be a pretty big deal. However, before you buy this card, what I do is, this is $6.60 for a level 2 card. What I would first check is go to rent here and then look at a level 2 here common of Sandworm. There are some cards, especially the older ones, that if you go to check to rent it, a level 2 is 0.13 DEC a day. So you're spending $6 to get a card that you could probably just rent for barely more than 0.1 DEC. For me, I would rather just, okay, let's take that $6 and put it into other cards, because if I really wanted a level 2 Sandworm, I could just go rent this sucker for super cheap. I could rent that for a month and it's still only going to be 3 DEC. So if you find cards like that, in my opinion, it's actually just better not to buy. Just go rent things like that. And then again, you can go look at rares and monsters. Here we go. Something like the Venari Bonesmith. Again, you'll get this in your reward cards. But if you get it to level 2, it gets an extra speed. And sometimes getting an extra speed on your Venari Bonesmith gets an attack off to Life Leech and heals up quicker, so that maybe if you got the Life Leech and get to 4 HP and then got attacked, then maybe you survive that and continue to Life Leech. So that extra speed can be a pretty big deal. And then, of course, if you can get your hands on a level 4 Thaddeus, adding poison to the Venari Bonesmith is pretty deadly. Again, Soul Strangler, Life Sapper get extra speed as they go. Even if you can get to level 4, then you're adding things like another magic damage. A Cursed Wendeku, even though it only gets 1 health, because it has thorns, the more health it gets, the more it can stay alive and do thorn damage. So even to me, a level 2 Wendeku can be worth it to have a slight advantage over other players that only have level 1 cards. A Zenith Monk, that's one of the rare examples that at level 2, you can have heal on it. And that is super big, especially for Little League battles where you can only use 4 mana. Having a heal on your tank that has 6 HP is a pretty big deal. As I said in that bronze video, Uraeus getting a second sneak attack here with level 2, having that extra damage, partnering it with something like the Silent Shavai, that can add a lot of sneak attack that other people won't have unless they unlock these level 2 decks. Soulstorm, definitely more expensive. I don't know about this, but again, just another example of some cards do get a leveled up ability at level 2. Adding Snare can remove flying from enemies, especially useful in Earthquake battles to snare them, and then they have to take the Earthquake damage instead of being a flying monster like they were. So I'm not trying to go through every single card and tell you which ones are the best, but again, I'm just trying to teach you what to look for. You need those breakpoints, especially extra speed, an extra attack, or if it somehow gets an extra ability at level 2 or 3. Those are pretty big deals, and you can just spend a little bit on those types of monsters and really power up your deck, really for not a ton of money right now, depending on which ones you go after. And perhaps after buying all the card power and buying up the leveled up summoners, you're like, man, I really don't have that much money left over to get these leveled up cards. Well, again, just remember, as you play the game, you're going to get more reward cards. So you can go look through reward cards and think about, okay, which reward cards am I getting that I actually really like? And if I level them up, will be even better. And that maybe helps you sway in your decision of, should I go for Tarsa or Kelia or for, General Sloan? Like, for example, leveling up Venari Heatsmith to me, yeah, it gives it a couple of shields or HP points, but again, it's a card that I don't find myself using that often in Bronze and Silver. However, if I go look at something like Lava Launcher and I can eventually get a Tarsa leveled up, well then that goes from 3 range damage to 4 range damage. Again, one of those breakpoints. Or take, for instance, Pelacor Bandit. If you can eventually get to a level 3 Kelia, that's going to unlock a Pelacor Bandit that you can combine your reward cards over time. 4 speed plus flying means they're going to miss a lot when they try to attack it, and then it also now gets 2 melee damage. Or again, one of my favorite cards, Jin Oceanus. Of course, getting legendaries and drops takes a long time, but I've eventually gotten 3 over playing the last, whatever it's been, 4 or 5 months, and I can use a level 3 Kelia or a level 2 Quicks, and then Oceanus gets this next ability phase. So not only is he more healthy, he also can reduce magic attacks and dodge potential attacks from magic damage. So at 6 speed with using Kelia, I think Oceanus is still an incredible card because it could dodge melee, range, and magic damage now. Or even again, a Pelacor Conjurer, if you wanted to get a General Sloan at level 3, all of a sudden gets Magic Reflect, which for 2 mana, 5 health, flying, and 4 speed is either going to dodge lots of attacks or Magic Reflect back. So those are the things I really want to teach you guys about. Don't just think about, I'm going to pick 3 random summoners. Pick the cards that you like, that you look at it and you see, oh, there's a big important breakpoint for this card. I know how to use that. It's going to be helpful to my deck. Let me go after General Sloan, or let me go after Kelia and start leveling those cards up. I really do believe even if you're a Krill and you're starting off this game just scraping by and you get to Silver 3 and you have 3 leveled up summoners at level 2, even though that's not incredible, I still think if you play this game long enough over this year that you could see some decent gains and put that back into the game and then start your way towards a level 3 summoner or a couple of other leveled up monsters. Eventually, you'll snowball your account over enough time. And then again, if you don't have enough funds, I realize that. That's why I'm here to help you all. And if you're like, man, I'm trying the Hive blogging and it's not working as well as I want it to, and I still don't have enough funds, well, just know this, that as more supply comes on the market, we're going to see cheaper and cheaper leveled up summoners to rent. You can see here at level 2, General Sloan, it's just 0.25 DEC a day to rent. That is pretty dang cheap. Even Tarsa is 0.5 DEC and Thaddeus at 1.45. Even a level 3 is not crazy. You can get a General Sloan level 3 for 1 DEC a day. Thaddeus at 9.4 is a little more expensive there, the second cheapest. Level 4 General Sloan 12.8. You can even grab an Obsidian level 4 for 15 DEC a day. And then even a level 2 Quicks, which I talked about how great it is to level up all monsters across your decks using this. Right now, 8.7 DEC to rent. Maybe these prices even go lower as more supply comes out, more people combine their cards and rent them out. So I hope this was helpful. Again, I think the more of us that can get at least into Silver 3 with a couple level 2 summoners, we're going to set up ourselves really great for the rest of the year. So again, work hard towards it. Put your rewards back into the game. Go out, blog if you need to. Just grind it out. I think this month especially, we're gonna have good deals. I don't know how long they're gonna last. Is it a couple more weeks? Is it a couple more months until these prices go back up? Either way, I think right now we need to be putting a lot of effort in to at least hit that level of Silver 3. Right now, it's looking like that would be about $200 worth for the power, summoners, and a couple more monsters on top of that. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know your strategy. Which summoners are you leveling up? Which monsters are some of your favorites? Are you going to have to rent? Are you going to have to blog? What are you going to do to take advantage of this opportunity? For now, this is it. Peace out, pa'alam, and adios.